Hey everybody, as you know, we have been challenging people to provide proof and evidence that would show atheism is accurate and correct. No atheist has been able to do it. So we started with Richard Dawkins, he can't do it. We challenged Christopher Hitchens when he was alive, he never did it. Um, we challenged the number one most subscribed to atheist on YouTube, the amazingly hellbound atheist. He couldn't do it. We challenged the Atheist Experience Show. They couldn't do it. Matt Dillahunty couldn't do it. Aaron Ra couldn't do it. He got it Aaron wrong. The Thunderfoot couldn't do it. No atheist has been able to do it. So we're going to talk about this video here. It's titled Shock of God, You Should Know Better. So people, atheists, are getting very angry that year after year they're failing and they cannot provide proof and evidence that would show atheism is accurate and correct. But first, I saw this video, it was made by an atheist making fun of the question, but I have to admit I liked it. And so we're going to play that for you real quick. I cracked up laughing. Atheists do not like the question. Here's the question: what proof and evidence can you provide that would prove that atheism is accurate and correct? They hate it. It's got them stumped. And this guy's going to talk about why he doesn't like the question. But first, let me show you how much the atheists hate it. They've made a video dedicated to me. Check it out. So, check it out. See in the background, that's supposed to be my motorcycle. But watch this. You got to admit, this is pretty funny.
Go from my village to my neighboring village, and nobody, not one single person, could answer my question. It is such a beautiful question, so elegant, it shimmers like all the gold in El Dorado. My question is this: where is your proof and evidence that atheism is accurate and correct?
Isn't that good? I do like the scooter in the background, and I do like that he is exercising his Second Amendment rights. Now, let's get to the main video here. And we're going to talk about this video. This is an atheist, and he made this video, Shock of God, You Should Know Better. And I do know better. That's why I'm not an atheist. Christians know better than to believe in the crapola that is called atheism. I mean, when you really think about atheism, think about it. A worldview that says there's no purpose to life, and when you're dead, you're dead. Where is the ingenuity and intelligence and truth of that? So we're going to go to another video. I'm going to play a short clip because he's going to talk about this. This is me calling into the radio show, challenging. There's like 4 or 5 atheists. I'm challenging them to provide proof and evidence that atheism is accurate and correct. I'm not going to play the whole thing because it's a long, video, but I'm going to put the link below the video you're watching now, and you can listen to my entire call or go to Multi Archangel's website, and he's got it on his website. But let's go there right now, and then we're going to talk to you about why atheists hate this question. Okay, so we're at Multi Archangel's YouTube channel, and I gave him permission to put this on his channel because mine gets attacked and false flagged all the time. Check out his video, Incredible Facts of the Bible. But let's go to Shock of God Calls into Atheist Radio Show. It's hilarious. Here we go. Okay, so this is a short clip. The whole clip is 9 minutes and 87 seconds of the atheist struggling to provide proof and evidence that would finally show atheism is accurate and correct. But you drive around and there's churches all over, more and more churches are being built. It doesn't seem like anyone's buying into, the crapola of atheism. Most atheists, no offense to the kids out there, but most atheists are kids. You know that, don't you? Most atheists, are children. But when they put on their big boy pants, they become Christians. But listen to this. We're going to play a short little clip. It goes on for 9 minutes and I think it was 9 minutes and 37 seconds, 9 minutes and 37 seconds of the atheist running from the question And finally, I just tell them, I go, you guys like failed on live radio. Let's play a short clip.
That without uh, answering the question with the question, which atheists always tend to do when I ask this question.
Well,
here's the question. Notice I just said it, and he goes, "Do we?" So here's the question: what proof or evidence can you guys provide that atheism is accurate and correct? And let's see if you can do it without asking a question with the question. And then I'll tell you how you did.
That's a fair condition, I think. I'll
think
go
so.
First.
Because there was no proof or evidence when I looked for it. That's why I left the humanist religion of atheism. But go ahead, I'll listen.
All right.
Now, I'm going to put this video right here below, and you can listen to the whole thing. But I call up because these atheists, I feel sorry for atheists because they're really the bottom feeders of society. Everyone picks on them, everyone kicks them around because it's so easy to refute, and it's just, it's full of crapola. So let's get to the bottom line of the radio show, and then we're going to get right back to this other atheist that's talking, where this dude here, shock of God, you should know better. Now, this is towards the end. They all start panicking. And again, I'll put the link right below this video. They all start panicking and they're arguing amongst themselves because they've never had to show arguments and rational thinking of why we should even believe that atheism is true, accurate, or correct. Listen to this. We get them on live radio. It was awesome.
He's talking enough already.
Third time.
Right.
By the way, that's me saying third time because I've asked them three times and they're running away like little rabbits into the bunny hole.
Rich, I have answered your question because you keep interrupting me.
Where's the proof? You didn't supply any proof. You failed miserably on live radio to provide any proof or evidence that atheism is accurate and correct.
And by the way, when you hear it, I didn't interrupt them. What happened is, you know how atheists just drone on for minutes at a time and they try to avoid the question. So I had to keep them focused without going off on a tangent. And that's why atheists on YouTube are angry at me, because we totally wrecked and destroyed atheism, especially on this live call. It was awesome.
Where's the proof? You didn't supply any proof. You failed miserably on live radio to provide any proof or evidence that atheism is accurate and correct.
Now let's get to what this guy says here. So he's going to talk about how no atheist has been able to provide proof and evidence that would show atheism is accurate and correct. And there is a very serious weakness and flaw in atheism that I'm going to point out, and this is why it's so easy to defeat atheists in debate. I'm going to put, very humbly as I bow my head to the ground, I'm going to put, I'm being very humble here, well, not all of them, because we have like 30 or 40 of them. I'm going to put some really good debates that we did right below this video. You guys know Steve Shives on YouTube. He's a famous YouTube atheist. Steve admitted that I defeated him in debate. And I brought up all these arguments for the existence of God, and he didn't bring up any arguments against the existence of God. So when you're in debate, whoever has the best arguments and the most arguments, they win the debate. If you don't have any arguments on your side of the debate, you automatically lose. It's very similar to a football game or basketball game when you're debating. If you're not going to take the field or you're not going to take the court, you're automatically just going to get run over and you're going to lose by default. And, for those of you that are atheists watching this video, I used to be an atheist. But atheism is intellectually lazy and dishonest. And I'm going to show you in this video how atheism is actually very similar to dog poop on someone's front lawn. Here we go. Now, this guy's a nice guy. I'm not saying he's like dog poop. This guy's a nice guy. I'm amazed that he doesn't cuss through the whole thing. I can't find one atheist video out there where they don't have a potty mouth. But let's start with this. Okay, So this guy, I wish more atheists would do videos like this because he's able to complete a video without dropping the F bomb and everything. I mean, it's just so immature how people cuss so much. It's so like childish. But this guy doesn't do it. And so this is great. And I actually have really good hopes for this guy. This guy is Highwire, High, and then Wire. But he's going to admit here that the atheist cannot answer the question, what proof and evidence can you provide that proves atheism is accurate and correct? And let's listen how he does it. I want you to listen to his arguments, though. This isn't a personal attack on him, but he doesn't provide proof and evidence that atheism is accurate and correct either.
I was on YouTube a few days ago and I was looking around various videos, just kind of surfing, and I found this guy. You've probably heard of him. His name, he goes by Shock of God. And he basically called in a radio show, whatever it was, live on air, and asked the atheists who were hosting this, could they provide proof and evidence that atheism was real?
It's the best question south of the El Dorado. No, I'm just kidding. He's going to correct himself there. I didn't say that atheism is real, as you guys know. The question is, what proof and evidence can you provide that would prove atheism is accurate and correct? What's it been like 7 years now, and no atheist has been able to answer that question? Watch this.
And true. And no, they couldn't. And of course, he claimed this is a victory. And the reason.
By the way, I'll try not to stop it too much. Sorry about that, guys. Notice he admits, he's honest, that they couldn't answer the question. So I'm going to show you how atheism is very similar to like the dog poop on someone's lawn in a moment. Watch. And he's going to help me.
That they couldn't is because he was asking the wrong question. Atheism is not a belief. So therefore it can't be verified. Atheism is a lack of belief. It is the lack of people agreeing that there is a God.
Yes. Okay, so atheism, if you're claiming that you don't have belief in God, I don't believe you, because scripture says that we have no excuse. Even all of nature proclaims God's existence, and plus Jesus talks about the helper coming into the world convicting us of sin, righteousness, and judgment. And so scripture says that indeed people do know that God exists, but they suppress it in unrighteousness. And to be honest with you, when I was an atheist, that's what I was doing. They'll say they don't believe in God, but what it really is, they're suppressing the truth in unrighteousness. So far, have we heard any arguments against God's existence? No. Let's continue.
It's the denial of someone's claims that there is a God. And so how do you verify that that is true and correct, and how do you provide evidence for that?
You give arguments. When I was an atheist, the Christians gave arguments for their side. When I say arguments, I don't mean like a fight. I mean, inductive, deductive, give some arguments. This is why debates are awesome. At the top of the video here, it says debatesonvideo.blogspot.com, or it's on the top of the video or the bottom. I don't know where I'm going to put it at. But go to that blog and watch those debates and get a piece of paper, draw a line down the middle, and every point that's rational and makes sense and that's truthful that the Christians make, write that down. Every argument for the existence of God. And then write down all the arguments against God's existence. And I've never heard any arguments against God's existence that make sense. They'll talk about they don't believe in a man floating in the clouds. Well, I don't believe that either. Or a phantom God. I don't believe that either. But they're talking about a God that doesn't exist, and I don't believe in that God either. They'll talk about zombie Jesus. I don't believe in zombie Jesus either. So it's just, here's why atheism is a lot like dog poop. What this guy's saying And he's saying the same thing all the atheists say is they will not give arguments against God's existence because there's so many things that make sense of why God must exist. He's necessary for all life. The universe wouldn't be here, we wouldn't be here. DNA is proof of design. We have the cosmological argument, the teleological argument, the objective moral argument. We have prophecies that came true. We have a historic person, Jesus Christ. We can go on and on and on and on. So put that in your pipe and smoke it, my atheist friends. But atheists don't have anything. They say, well, this is just my opinion. Well, let's approach this from, let's say, the Islamic standpoint. If a Muslim says, well, I disagree that atheism is true, using the atheist's own logic, just because the Muslim disagrees that atheism is true, that would then make Islam true. But the atheist is saying, no, no, I disagree that any God exists. So now we're back to atheism being true. So it's the law of non-contradiction. Someone's wrong here. How do we find out who's wrong and who's right? We use rational thinking. We look at the evidence. We look at the arguments. But atheists, my friends, you fell into my trap. I knew you guys were going to start saying, well, we're not making a claim that God doesn't exist. And the minute you do that, you've lost all respect in a debate format and in the rational world. Just because you claim something, you can claim that you have a car that flies in the air, but just because you claim that, it doesn't mean it's true. You've got to give us some arguments for that. You could claim that you don't believe in God. Just because you claim that, it doesn't make it true. And the whole argument is you guys are claiming that God doesn't exist. You've got to give us some proof and evidence of that, but we never get any. This is all we get.
You can't. It's simply the wrong question to ask. And of course he knew that, and he knew that there was no proper answer to that. And so he posted it on, and he has duped a lot of the people that follow him, a lot of the people that subscribe.
I guess you guys
they just see this guy and they look up to him as a hero because he has taken their cause online to the masses and has claimed, victory. It's obviously it's ridiculous.
Now, what's this? Their cause, and then my subscribers are duped. We all are asking the atheists, give us some proof and evidence that would show atheism is accurate and correct. If anyone's duped, it's the atheist community. My atheist friends, you guys got duped. You got wrecked. That question, what proof and evidence can you provide that proves atheism is accurate and correct, really shows the hypocrisy of atheism, because atheists are evidentialists. They'll say they'll only believe in something that has evidence. There's a great debate, Cliff versus Matt Dillahunty. And Cliff is a Christian, and he asked Matt Dillahunty, he says, okay, Matt, you're saying that you'll only believe in something if there's a proper amount of evidence. Okay, what is it you're living for? What evidence have you seen that shows that you should live your life as an atheist? And Matt couldn't answer the question. Matt Dillahunty got destroyed by this question. I challenge you guys, call the Atheist Experience Show and ask them this question. I challenge everyone. Here's the question. What proof and evidence can you provide that would finally at last prove that atheism is accurate and correct? It's been 7 years. No atheist has been able to do it.
Atheism is simply a denial of a belief in a higher power, a deity. It's not provable. It's only provable if you could prove that your deity is real, and you have evidence to support that. And once you back that up and it's tested and it's verified, then we get on to the second part, people that would deny it. Why do you deny it? Based on such evidence, blah, blah, blah. If the evidence is there and people can test it and prove it and quantify it, then to refute it is kind of foolhardy if you just base it on, well, I don't believe because I don't believe.
Well, that's what atheists are doing. So the challenge is still out there. Now, I got to tell you guys something. Last year, 2016, I predicted the entire year would go by and no atheist would be able to answer the question. They're atheists based on blind faith. That's really it. They're faitheists. That's really what I call them. They're faitheists, blind faith. Certainly, if you have faith in something that has evidence and proof, like Christianity does, but atheists have no proof and evidence. So, I would challenge you guys. Click share below this video, and if you're receiving this video, someone sent this to you, and they're challenging you to make a video answering this question. What proof and evidence can you provide as an atheist that would finally at last prove that atheism is accurate and correct? However, I'm going to make a prediction. 2017 is going to go by just like 2016, and just like 2015, and just like 2014. Atheists cannot provide proof and evidence that atheism is accurate and correct. Atheist, you should know better. Yes, my atheist friends, listen closely to the question.
All of El Salvador. I go from my village to my neighboring village, and nobody, not one single person could answer my question. It is such a beautiful question, so elegant. It shimmers like all the gold in El Dorado. My question is this: where is your proof and evidence that atheism is accurate and correct?